Have you ever been mistaken for a psychic medium at a group séance you thought was a dinner party? My coworker Beatrice invited me to what she called a small gathering at her place. She'd been trying to get me to socialize more after my breakup, so I figured why not? She texted me the address and said to come hungry. I showed up with a bottle of wine and homemade brownies, ready for casual conversation and maybe some pasta. The moment I walked in, I knew something was off. The living room was lit entirely by candles. About 12 people sat in a circle holding hands, and there was an empty chair with a velvet cushion right in the center. Beatrice jumped up when she saw me. She's here! I told you she'd come. Before I could ask what was happening, she grabbed my arm and led me to the center chair. Everyone, this is Lydia. She doesn't like to talk about her gift, but trust me, she's the real deal. Gift? What gift? I tried to whisper to Beatrice that there must be some confusion, but she just winked and said loudly, "Don't be modest. We all know why we're here." An older woman across the circle leaned forward. "My Harold passed last spring. Can you reach him?" That's when it clicked. This wasn't a dinner party. This was a séance, and they thought I was the medium. I opened my mouth to correct them, but Beatrice squeezed my shoulder and whispered, "Please, just try." My aunt paid everyone's fee already. $200 each. $200 times 12 people. My brain did the math while my conscience had a panic attack. I couldn't take their money for a service I couldn't provide, but looking at their hopeful faces, especially the woman asking about Harold, I also couldn't just crush them. "I need everyone to close their eyes," I heard myself say. "The spirits require complete concentration." What was I doing? I'd never even been to a séance, let alone led one. My entire knowledge came from movies and that one documentary about Victorian spiritualists I'd watched during lockdown. But their eyes were closed now, and I was committed to this insanity. "Harold," I said in what I hoped was a mystical voice. "Harold, are you with us?" The Harold woman gasped. "I feel him. I feel a cold presence." It was probably just the air conditioning, but I went with it. "He wants you to know he's at peace." "Ask him about the watch," she cried. "The watch? What watch?" I had no idea what she was talking about, but I remembered something from that documentary. Let them fill in the blanks themselves. "He's showing me something about time," I said vaguely. "Something precious about time. His father's pocket watch. He always said he'd hidden it somewhere safe for me." "Where is it, Harold?" I was in too deep now. "He's indicating somewhere high, somewhere you wouldn't normally look." "The attic." I never checked the attic. She was crying now, and I felt like the world's worst person. For the next hour, I fumbled through readings for everyone. A young man wanted to connect with his grandmother. She missed his cooking. A couple wanted to speak to their daughter. She was proud of them for staying strong. And Beatrice wanted to reach her ex-boyfriend who was very much alive but had blocked her on everything, which I pretended not to know. The worst part? I was apparently good at this. People were sobbing, hugging, thanking me for bringing them closure. One man tried to tip me an extra 100. My stomach churned with guilt. Finally, mercifully, it ended. As people filed out, each one pressed cash into my hands despite my protests. The Harold woman hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. "You've given me peace," she whispered. After everyone left, Beatrice beamed at me. "You were amazing. I knew you had the gift when you predicted that our boss would get fired." "That wasn't a prediction," I said weakly. "I saw him stealing office supplies on camera." She waved this off. "Same thing. So, same time next month?" I drove home with $2,400 in my pocket and a conscience that felt like it had been put through a blender. The next morning, I did two things. First, I anonymously donated all the money to a grief counseling center. Second, I texted Beatrice that I was taking a break from the gift indefinitely. A week later, the Harold woman called me. She'd gotten my number from Beatrice. She was crying again, but this time with joy. She'd found the watch in the attic, wrapped in his father's old war letters. I hung up feeling like the universe was playing a massive prank on me. Maybe I should have just stuck to regular dinner parties.